So we have three key focus areas. One is on awareness, to help companies understand what is productivity and how do I look at that within my businesses and what are some things that we can do. And we have a range of benchmarking tools. We have a productivity assessment tool online for firms. It's very interactive. We even have simulations. So we've tried to create this as a little bit creative, so you can go online and take a look at the tools and resources and information and even little vignettes of companies telling their own stories of what they've looked at. And we've started to dig more into the efficiency side. So we have productivity improvement services where we have industrial engineers who can do a walkthrough through their operations and help them get started perhaps on lean and connect them into other areas of expertise like IRAP programs, through AET's innovation programs, through our universities and our colleges who have education but other experience and expertise. We're starting to focus now on technology and automation for these firms, and as well as moving into industrial energy efficiencies and how can we look at what they can be doing within their operations to improve their energy efficiencies and consumption. And we've been doing a lot of work with the University of Calgary in particular on construction mega projects and opportunities to gain efficiencies there. On the value add side, we've begun to put together knowledge networks, groups of companies that can share information, share best practices, and tackle challenges together. We've been pulling supply chains together to look at how can you play in not just the energy supply chains here, but if you can compete here, you can look at global supply chains too. And how do we help companies understand what it takes to compete in those markets? Building alliances with your customers and suppliers so that you're adding value and looking for efficiencies together, as well as continuing to look at technology and automation into the future. As I said, we're focusing on the key producing sectors, so we've done lots of work and even pulling a group together in the agri-food processing group who, one quick case study is a group of companies got together to look at some of the challenges that they had, and one of them was just in cutting their transportation costs for a lot of perishable goods. And they talked about building a consolidation center and putting some full loads together. And they realized that after they went through this and did some analysis and looked at best practices that they didn't have to build a thing. They developed a virtual online consolidation system where they can log their pallets in, and they increased such efficiencies in pulling these loads together that they were able to cut 50% off their transportation costs just with that fairly simple innovation. But it's how they collaborated together and how they looked at innovative solutions together. And what's really important here is that we sometimes tend to silo off different segments of our economy, and we don't really realize that all of these new technologies, all the information and knowledge economies are enablers for the producing sector to help them be more competitive into the future. And that's really what we're trying to focus on. We're guided by industry. We have an industry advisory committee that's made up of various segments of Alberta's economy. And just to quick show you a couple of screenshots. So we have a productivity assessment tool. So a company can go on and create a user profile and go through three main components that we'll give some feedback on: operations, management, and leadership. One on innovation. Are you developing a culture of innovation within your organization? And three, into your operations. And what it does, you get a spider diagram at the end that kind of shows, even though it's a self-assessment, shows where your relative strengths or weaknesses might be. And what that will do is pulls from a huge inventory that we've pulled together. When we first, we looked right across Alberta and within Canada, what are existing programs and services that could help small and medium-sized enterprises with productivity. We ended up with a listing of over 700 programs and services, and we thought, how the heck would companies ever find what they need, even if they knew they had a problem? So what we've done is linked the inventory with the assessment tool, so up will come your top range of things that you might want to start with. You can also search the inventory on your own, looking for programs and services. So I just want to finish by saying, really, I really appreciate the opportunity to share with you today. But to challenge you to say, how do you look at your own business productivity and innovation? Even though many of you in the room are creators and the innovators and you're developing cool new things, start now by looking at your processes and looking at the efficiencies that you can create within your processes. But secondly, how can the things that you're developing really be productivity solutions for the broader segments of our economy, because there's a huge opportunity for that. And I think if we begin to speak similar languages and get more of us in a room together like this, we'll see amazing things happen in Alberta in the years to come. Thank you.